So we're in throwback rotation now, and we are back in Azvaldt. So Azvaldt was the first expansion I ever started making videos for, but I guess we're back in Azvaldt. So we're gonna be starting off with Loot Sword, of course, the mascot for the channel, as well as my first deck that I made a video for. So this is the list we're playing right now. I'm still working on the list. I don't think it's like, I think it could be better. And also I'm still working on reclaiming my ability to actually play this deck properly, because I haven't played this deck in a while, so kind of forgotten how to play it for the most part, so I'm trying to reclaim that. But for now, here's what early on in the sort of expansion, I guess. It's not really an expansion, it's early on in throwback rotation. Here we're gonna be playing some Loot Sword and just watch some gameplay, and hopefully I'll improve, and then I can make a updated video later on, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, that's it for the preamble, so let's just go into the games. So our first match here is against Portal, and we are going second. Portal is very commonly going to be enhanced Portal. So for the mulligan, we look for Octris, and after we have Octris, we look for early game loot generators, and Deep Sea Scout is nice to keep for card draw. So early game card draw loot generators are pretty nice after you pick up your Octris. You can also try to get some early damage in, because you don't have a very reliable OTK in this deck, so you sort of need to chip damage early on and go for like to be able to pull out lethals in the late game, so you gotta look out for that. Opponent drops the Metatron here, nothing to do here. So at this point in time I was still running Chivalrous Bandit, so I took it out of the list. I might put it back later on, but for now Heroes Bandit isn't in the list, so we'll go ahead and trade it off into the Metatron here. And there's the Mechanical Amalgamation, so this is probably going to be enhanced. They're playing such weird cards. Go ahead and use the Adherent Evo into Serration Wave. Serration Wave will do damage to 2 random enemies if there is 2 enemy followers, if there is an evolved follower on your board. So we'll go ahead and evolve Adherent so that it can clear both. And I was hoping my opponent would have trouble clearing this, but they do just use the Black Rust Underling, which I guess is fine since it gives me free reign to play this turn. Go ahead and drop the Octris here alongside the Adherent. We don't have Evo payoff in this deck, so Adherent here is best used for loot generation, so he's gonna go ahead and generate a loot for me, and then we can use our main draw source, which is Octris in this deck. We have Remnant of Hollowness here, Octris' token spell. And then you fuse a card into it, you draw. Whenever cards are fused into it, you draw a card. So, and then he fused 4 cards into it, it deals 8 damage among all enemies. So it's a pretty nice card to have. So we definitely want to pick them up, which is why Octris is our major mulligan target for this deck. Opponent does have Cutthroat here. And they go ahead and pull out the Inauspicious Puppeteer here as well, which will clear my board. And then they go ahead and pass, so just float 2 PP. I guess they don't really have anything else to do. So for us, we can go ahead and play Maximus here. Maximus can be just annoying to clear for your opponent because it's just a big board. So go ahead and slam down the Maximus here. Not that we have anything else to do anyway. And then here we go ahead and evolve the Stormwrack First Mate to discount Remnant of Hollowness. Remnant of Hollowness being discounted, of course the alternative is you discount Gilded Blade, then you Blade Knife this and can draw a card and generate a loot token, but since we have a second Stormwrack First Mate in hand already, I don't really find it necessary to start trying to get loot out of this one, so we go ahead and just discount Remnant of Hollowness so we can make use of it for our lethal turn. That being said, we haven't found Barbaros yet, so that is a bit concerning. We go ahead and fuse off the knife as well to draw a card. I pick up Bumpkin Recruit, which will help us draw later on, so that's fine. Opponent drops the Network Bodyguard as well as the Ironforge Right Hand here. We'll go ahead and clear our board with their Evil Point. We got them to spend their Evil Point, which is nice. And there's the Inner Discovery, which will summon the Analyzing Artifact for them as well. Pick up the Barbaros here so we can look for, I guess, a way to win here. And then here we discount the Necklace just to I mean, there's not really any need to discount the Allness to 0, although I could have tried it. Actually, so this is an interesting position where if you look at how many loots we are at now, we're at 3. And our Remnant of Hollowness is at 2. So we want to ideally have 2 cards to fuse into Remnant of Hollowness, as well as 1 card to fuse into Barbaros, so we can pull out full damage sort of combo. I guess it's not really a combo next turn. So Even though if you're familiar with loot slot, the standard is just to spam loots with Stormlight First Mate, you'll notice that if I just do that blindly, I won't have enough loots for both Remnant of Hollowness and Barbaros. And for that reason, instead I play Lupin here, as well as the Deep Sea Scout. So now I have enough loots, and then we can go ahead and play the Necklace here, which will generate out Cannoneer. Mainly it's just to draw one card here. And then now we can go ahead and trade off here, and we have enough loots now for both Barbaros and Remnant of Hollowness, as well as making sure we hit the correct loot count. So we go ahead and just fuse one to draw. And it should be good. Go ahead and pass here. And there's the opponent's Cutthroat, which is fine. And then they go ahead and play the Cassim as well, which will clear our Lupin, which is unfortunate. If Lupin's down the board, we might have been able to just have lethal, but I guess it wasn't meant to be. So there goes Lupin, that's fine. And then of course we can go ahead and fuse into Barbaros here, as well as the Remnant of Hollowness. I guess you just fuse Remnant to draw first. Got a Tidal Gunner, which we can use next turn. We go ahead and fuse one more to so Barb can evolve for free. We go ahead and just play Barbaros here for enhance. Obviously we don't have lethal yet, but we'll just chip them down so we can try to finish that next turn is the current goal. So here is an interesting spot where there's options here. We could play something like Pumpkin Recruit to trade, and then we play the Flag and then play Remnant, put them down to 2. The problem with that is that I'm a bit scared at just 13 health. Enhance 8, they're at 8 EP, which lets them play a lot of enhance cards. I'm not fully I don't fully know the full extent of how much damage output Enhanced Portal has, because it's been a while since I've played this expansion. So maybe the correct play would have been to play Pumpkin Recruit, trade, and then flag them, and then Remnant of Hollowness for a nice 18 damage to their face. But in order to be safe here, I go ahead and play Metatron to protect my face as well as heal up myself a bit. Then we play Remnant of Hollowness here. 3 of the damage went board, which is a bit of a waste, but I wanted to be safe, so we go ahead and just play it more safe. Yeah. And there's the Judith from my opponent here. We'll go ahead and evolve. And second Judith as well is pretty annoying. Go ahead and get in a bunch of healing. And there's the Warden of the Trigger. And a Celestial Artifact to, I guess, draw something, I don't know what. And then we'll go ahead and trade, and that has the Azvaldt Bahamut here, and our deck is gone, but thankfully we do have lethal here. So we go ahead and use Octris. Make sure to trace the correct enemy follower. So Octris, if you don't know what she does, I guess, she steals Last Word's effect as well as Strike, Ward, Bane, Storm, Bane, Drain, Rush, and Clash. So this Judith has Storm because of her Enhance 7. So we can go ahead and steal that Storm. And then, yeah, we pick up a loot as well, which will be relevant. We can go ahead and evolve Octris for free because she gets the evolve for free at 8 rally. And then we can go ahead and use the necklace to buff her as well. And the Pirate's Flag. And then as well as another Pirate's Flag, and we can go ahead and finish them off here. So that's it for this game. Let's move on to the next game. So for our next game here, we are against Sword and we are going first. This might be a mirror, or there are a few other decks it could be, but it's most likely the mirror, or at least when I play I assume it's the mirror. And once again we just hard search for Octris, which we do pick up here. When you're going first, you can also look for Maximum General. I forgot what his name is. But yeah, you can search for him as well, but since we didn't pick him up, we do have Octris as well, so we can just go ahead and that. Order of Honor makes me start thinking this is gonna be a Toilet Sword or Commander Sword. We're going to use the Haggler's Gambit here. Manage to discount Stormlight First Mate, which is nice. My opponent does play Resplendent Knight, so this is going to be Toilet Sword. And it does get buffed to 2. Get buffed its health, which is nice. And go ahead and use Stormlight First Mate here to sort of... I don't think they have a good way to clear this. They can... To my knowledge, at least, I don't think Commander Sword has a way to clear this turn. We Stormlight First Mate, and we have another 2 in hand anyway, so we don't really care that we are wasting this copy. I'm gonna place Azvaldt, which is fine. We can go ahead and answer that. So we go ahead and buff the Stormlight First Mate here. Then we can use the boots to give our Marine Raider Rush, which will clear this. And then just, I guess, for a bit of PP efficiency, just go ahead and play the Lupin here. And then hit face for a nice bit of damage here. And there's the Radiant Luminous Mage, which they are on track for their turn 6 toilet, which is very scary because turn 6 toilet high roll can be scary. And there's a Taketsumi as well. And then a Princess Merveil, so they are at 6 commanders. So if they have Maximus, then they will be at correct number of commanders by next turn. But we go ahead and advance our game plan here with Octris. Nothing else to do, honestly. We go ahead and fuse to draw a card here. Then we go ahead and knife the Princess Merveil. I traded the wrong well, I traded this to make sure that I get the last words off, but there's no reason to do that. I should have just traded into the I should have just traded the Lupin probably. And that's the Maximus, so they will be invoking the toilet next turn. And you can see our opponent is pretty competent player here by the way they are trading. So if you are newer to the game, you might be tempted to just trade Azvaldt into here and trade the Knight into here, but what that opens it up is the option to board lock this turn. Because well, you'll see next turn. So they do make sure they have enough board space to invoke the toilet properly, and they go ahead and trade into my face here, which is nice for them. Let me go ahead and fuse first to draw. Fuse 2 to make sure we don't overdraw on anything. Then we go ahead and just play the Stormlight first mate here to try and activate our Barbaros. Discount the Remnant of Hollowness here. There's no reason to discount anything else but the Remnant of Hollowness, so we go ahead and do that. And just get Bumpkin Recruit to try to draw us a card. Got Maximus, which is not useful. And then we heal up. This healing can become relevant, but yeah. And then we go ahead and trade off the Cannoneer and then just play one more just to get the extra Cannoneer out. Just for them to have more things to deal with, I guess, on the board. And there is their Royal Fortress, the toilet. The toilet requires a extra board space to play a maneuver target as well as playing the toilet itself, so that's why they traded weirdly last turn to make sure they have enough board space to invoke toilet as well as play a command to activate the toilet. And thankfully they don't have a Forged Weaponry. If they had Forged Weaponry, they can hit me for a nice 18 damage, but I guess they don't have it, so that's good for me. And there's the Kitty Sergeant, so we do manage to live this turn. They go ahead and trade as well to make sure they take less damage to face, but we just have lethal anyway, so it's fine. We go ahead and fuse into our Remnant of Hollowness. Go ahead and fuse into Barbaros as well. When you're calculating your damage, don't forget to count the Octris that is inside this toilet, which we'll see in a moment. Go ahead and play Barbaros here, pop the toilet, and then out comes the Octris. We can go ahead and use Ultimate Hollow to clear the Octris here to make sure that. Then we play the flag. So it's guaranteed lethal here. Even if the Luminous Mage survived, it only had 2 health left, so they would just be at 7 here, which is still lethal. So that's it for this game. Let's move on to the next game. So for our last game for today, we are against Dragon and we are going first. Dragon is usually gonna be Baha. There is this card, there is Arm, this card as well. I keep Bumpkin Recruit here just to have a turn 1 play. I don't think it's necessary. You can probably just hard search for Octris or Maximus if you want, but I just like keeping Bumpkin. Go ahead and play a Bumpkin turn 1, I guess, and start chipping damage to their face. Hold passes, so we don't really know what they are yet. We can go ahead and play the Illustrious Thief here. Tidal Gunner is fine to play early on, but there's no reason to commit it here when we don't need to. And there's the Phylene from my opponent, so this is going to be Baha. I don't think any other deck. Maybe this card will run Phylene, I guess, but at this point I'm thinking that it's probably going to be this card. No reason to forcefully clear this Phylene, it's just 1 damage. And they're probably going to trade for me anyway, so we can go ahead and focus on getting damage into their face by buffing the Thief. And then we draw an extra Octris here, so we just go ahead and play it. Fine. You can use the Rush to give Octris Rush so we can trade here. I'm not sure this is the correct play here, but I felt like it was fine. I wanted to keep Adherent for next turn when I evolve, so that's why I did that. Could have used Thief to trade as well. But Octris will stay on board here, but they just have Dilong anyway, so they are gonna clear both my followers, so that's unfortunate for me. And the healing is wasted as well. We got another Octris, so we do have all 3 Octrises now, so not really necessary. I think like 1 Octris is generally enough. And go ahead and use this Adherent as well, which will be able to give us a loot when we evolve our Octris. And then we'll go ahead and preserve our Octris's health here by using the knife to hit the Silong so that Adherent can trade into it. Then we go ahead and pass. Our hand not looking too great. We're missing Barbaros and Stormrite First Mate, which we kind of want to find. There's the second Silong, and they're gonna go ahead and use Tidal Tyranny to clear our Octris here and evolve the Silong as well. Then they go ahead and play a Guild Unleash here, I guess for fun. I don't really know why they played it, to be honest. But since it's here, it might as well. So we go ahead and fuse first to draw. Got a Haggler's Gambit here, we can go ahead and use that to draw. Pick up a nice Adherent of Hollowness. There's no reason to steal the Drain here, but I usually just make it a habit to steal the effect so that I don't accidentally do stupid shit. Yeah. I'm gonna evolve the Octris here just to pick up another Remnant of Hollowness. Currently we don't have Barb in hand, so we might need to use both of these Remnant of Hollowness for finding lethal. Let me go ahead and use the knife here just to make sure that we evolve Adherent so we can trade. At this point we are a bit concerned, we don't have that much damage in our hand. We don't have that many loots for Remnant either. I guess we have Opulent and Illustrious Thief and like a bunch of loots in hand. Maybe we do have loots, but a bit risky. And there's the double Terra Finish from my opponent. There's that 33 play points feud. Well, they're at 36 now, so we can expect Baha to come out next turn, so we need to play with that in mind. Go ahead and start with Illustrious Thief here. Pick up Boots to go ahead and draw with. There's no like necessity to clear this Hot Headed Marauder, so go ahead and pick up the Dread Pirate's Flag. I guess we do clear it. Pick up another loot. There's not really any difference, I don't think, but you might as well clear it since we can. And there's the Baha from my opponent, second Baha as well. We know that they were in the hand because of the Terra Finis. Let's try out the Dragon Slayer as well. Out comes the Baha to delete our deck. So at this point in time we have to figure out how to get lethal. So if we calculate, each Remnant of Hollowness is worth 8 damage. We have 2 Tidal Gunners. Tidal Gunner, and 4 flags is as usual still the OTK combo, but we don't really have access to that, so we're looking at Tidal Gunner, flag into Remnant of Hollowness is probably how we're gonna get lethal, which we can't do next turn, so we have to look for it next turn. Or we can't do it next turn, so we have to look for it the turn after. So next turn the plan was to use Opulent to clear the Bahamuts, and then use Ultimate Hollow or Remnant of Hollowness to clear the remaining health of the Bahamut after trading Opulent. And then we can use 9 PP next turn, and hopefully the flags plus the hopefully the flags will clear the Bahamut for me. So that was the plan for next turn. I would just top deck Barbaros, who's gonna win the game anyway. So that's it for this game. We'll just top deck lethal. Go ahead and fuse the Remnant of Hollowness here. We go ahead and fuse the Ultimate Hollow as well. Go ahead and play the Barb. The Barb will pop the Bahamut. And then double flag plus Octris spell is going to be lethal. So that's it for this game. A bit of a lucky top deck, but it's not like we do have a game plan for winning without it. So that's it for this game. That's it for this video for today. If you're wondering where the Wrath matchup was, I didn't run into well, I ran into like a couple of Wrath games, but they weren't really good games because I think my opponent didn't draw very well, so we didn't bother using those. But that's it for today's sort of early throwback video. I'll probably have a better one maybe later on, but for now this is the loot sword that we are playing today. It's definitely like not tier 1 level. Like obviously Enhance and Wrath are just better, so if you want a good deck you should probably just play those. But I guess if you want to play loot, you can play loot. It's pretty playable on ladder, although I lose a lot, but that's probably a skill issue. But yeah, not having a reliable OTK makes it a bit more awkward, since you have to sort of find your damage by splitting out your lethals if you don't manage to aggro early game. But yeah, it's a very difficult deck to play, so keep that in mind if you're gonna pick it up. But that's it for today. See you next time. Bye bye.